We get to prepare the soil and plant the seed and nurture it and harvest it and hand it to somebody.
Farming can get really monotonous, and this is kind of something that we're still passionate about.
We need places for community, and I think in how we've designed our cities over the last 80 years in America, we've forgotten that we need community. We love being an attraction and a weekly ritual. It's something you can come to every single week with your family, and that's important for downtowns, is that it's not just a place to work or shop, but it's a place to spend time in as a community.
It's relaxing, lots of veggies, and I struggle to eat the veggies and stuff, but I love the sweets.
The farmers market's about local food, it's about local products, but it's also about a space to gather.
The Red River Valley, home to some of the greatest farming and most fertile land in the nation. At its heart, Fargo, North Dakota.
I can park right off here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy it.
The passion of the vendors drives the market and its community.
Try anything, feel free to just come by and pick it out.
I want to pickle a lot of things.
And at the center is community builder Joe Burgum.
Have you played around with any fermenting? My work is really around building relationships between people and creating spaces for community to flourish. A lot of people around the world really judge a city by its downtown community and as a reflection of all the neighborhoods within a city and all the jobs, and so I think we're really grateful as a region to have a place like this. It can be so inclusive.
Okay, that'll be $5.99. Thank you.
We'd found a great list of how to make downtowns vibrant. It's about 15 things, ranging from bike share programs to getting your university students to move downtown to creating Renaissance zones. And out of all the things on the list, the only thing downtown Fargo was missing was a farmer's market. And we said, oh my gosh, this is low-hanging fruit, let's make this happen. So we started our first year and tried to keep it simple and small and grow incrementally.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Our goal when we started for our opening market, we wanted to have 10 vendors and 500 people. We thought that's an attainable goal. If we hit that, it'll be a success. Well, opening day of the first season, we had 12 vendors and saw 800 people. And from there, we ended that season with 20-some vendors and seeing almost 1,000 people a weekend. Go to our second year, we started the season with about 30 vendors, ended with close to 45, and we're seeing 4,000 to 5,000 people a weekend. Now this year, we have a roster of close to 75 small businesses we work with, and we're seeing well over 6,000 people a weekend.
They're not as earthy tasting, so I prefer them.
This is our farmers market stand. We've been doing farmers markets for about 5 years. This is our third year at the Red River Market. So we just try to bring an assortment of fruits and vegetables every week.
We've been here since the beginning, and we grow using sustainable organic practices on our farm. It's about 6 acres, and we grow a lot of vegetables.
Now we're at about 80 different types of crops. Some of our main crops that we grow are beets, carrots, potatoes, a lot of lettuce. 10 pounds of lettuce. What's next on the hit list? Brussels sprouts. Work on that one for a while. It can be long days and a lot of hard work.
planted these in April, so they've been out here a long time. They're ready to come out. There's a lot of uphill battles that we've faced starting out, but it's extremely rewarding work. I mean, our jobs that we were doing before this were good, comfortable, well-paying jobs, but we didn't have that satisfaction. You know, there's no guarantees, you know, no regular paychecks, that sort of thing.
The satisfaction of that whole process and seeing it come to fruition literally is more than I ever found sitting in front of my desk, staring at my computer.
While farming appears more traditional in Grandin, North Dakota, the popcorn farmers in Pearly, Minnesota give the corn business a novelty twist.
We're trying to keep the cobs looking as perfect as possible.
And the whole point is that it kind of looks nice, and that's part of the novelty of it. So we're out here by hand, doing it the old-fashioned way.
And popping it straight off the cob makes for a unique product.
I'm terrible. There's a lot of people that they see it loose kernels all their whole life, and they don't know where it came from. And it's more of an educational thing for some people.
My husband farms traditionally, so he has beans and wheat, and he used to have corn too, and they have a big kind of hobby garden at the farm. And when he was young, he went to the Corn Palace in Mitchell, South Dakota.
And that's where I saw the exact same thing we're doing, and somebody else was selling it there, and I took it back to elementary school in our class, and we all sat around the microwave and watched it pop off, and we thought that was the coolest thing ever.
So he found it again to seed, and so we planted it, and
sure enough, it worked pretty good, and we had enough of it that we used it for our wedding favors.
Our guests thought it was the coolest thing, and we're like, you guys need to sell this.
So that's where it kind of took off. So it went from about 50 yards of, or I show 50 feet of 4 rows of corn to 2 acres the next year. So
we started doing the farmers market, and we've been in a couple shops now, and it's just kind of steadily gaining momentum, and it's been fun at the same time. Is this thing on? That's what we were talking about earlier. We used to go to the market on Saturday just to walk around when we lived in Moorhead, and it's just a fun thing to do on Saturday. And I saw that they were accepting applications, and I thought, what a fun opportunity for us to kind of interact with our customers.
You know, it's great to get the name out at least, because there's the first few weeks, you know, people would stop by and, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Last few weeks it's, oh, these are the popcorn people, you know.
Yeah. But popcorn makes for a good party. Yeah.
Popcorn is great, but a party requires more than snacks. It's the people that make it all happen.
I think we've forgotten that in the 21st century, that by design, cities are a place for people to gather. And so things like the farmers market or a downtown is public space, right? It's a place to run into friends and see people and be around folks, but maybe be by yourself. And so when we think about where is the most walkable or where is the energy and where do you feel that, it's in a downtown.
Yeah, we said, let's head for downtown. We got to go check out Fargo, and just happened upon it.
I've been coming to the market, well, all summer long. It is beautiful. It's a very easygoing, and it's a wonderful way to enjoy your Saturday morning.
Well, I really like getting the fresh produce and knowing that it comes from local vendors. Ones I know they have like honey and baked goods.
Spun real fast, and then it comes out real creamy and spreadable. Yeah. Have a good one.
Thank you.
I've been doing it for my whole life pretty much. I think I was 11, 12 when I was first going out to the bee yard. We're just swimming in honey right now. Just pulled it out of the hive. This is fresh honey. The bees are still putting it in for the year. If you're not using smoke, you shouldn't be working with a beehive. Calms them down. You can tell their buzz is angry, and you can tell their buzz when they're content. Their buzz is usually angry at the beginning of the year when you're kind of getting them installed in the bee boxes. Usually on a nice summer day, when you go to the bee yard, you can tell on their buzz that they're very happy, very content.
Enduring the sweat and the stings is only the beginning. Now it's time to bottle the honey.
But I can tell you, I do this every day of the year, pretty much. It's just nice to get a nice long day, and you know, when you get done exercising and you feel good, you know, that's kind of how I feel at the end of every day. You know, you get out there in the 90-degree weather and sweat. You might get stung a few times, but it's all rewarding when you can see at the end of the day this in a bottle, and then to put the label on it and then to deliver to a store. I think that's just very rewarding. People have a desire to buy local products, and you know, they come down and get honey, and they can get whatever they need down there.
If you think collecting honey is a unique process, we'd like to introduce you to a little plant called a microgreen.
I like it all. I like growing stuff. It's all edible. I can come in my basement and have lunch. Microgreens are the beginning stages of growth on just about any edible plant. Most growers won't consider it a microgreen until you start seeing the second set of leaves. Cooler weather plants are used the most. They seem to have the quickest growth rates and have the biggest flavors. Chefs use them. They use them for a lot of garnish, or they'll actually use them for to actually replace like lettuces and stuff like that.
Can you at least just carry trays to the back for me, please?
Megan does the best job.
And I moved home with my folks for a little while, and I was like, they're like, well, what are you gonna do with the rest of your life? And I was like, I'm gonna grow food. And my mom was like, you're an idiot. And my dad just went, okay.
I was like, I want something to do on a Saturday in Fargo that is entertaining, and all of a sudden, everyone with the Red River Market showed up, and they've got, you know, bands there. They've got cooked food, you know, as far as food vendors, because they've got the farmers market. They got a little bit of crafts. They got beer, which, you know, awesome. It's, you know, 10 in the morning, there's beer available. So, I mean, they made a fun event that's awesome to go to every Saturday. Business-wise, it's the quick turnaround. Entertainment-wise, or like what's the most entertaining part about it is I like talking to people about like what microgreens are. The purple and green right here, this is red Rambo radish. This is arugula, hungvit radish. This one's my favorite because it's spicy. It's like really spicy. Red garnet, mustard, broccoli.
At the end of a busy Saturday, the vendors have 1 week before the bell rings again at 10 a.m.
Market is open.
Well, I've had my couple of pots of coffee this morning, half calf, of course. We don't want to get too cranked up. Had my flax seed, had my fish oil, just a little touch of Lipitor. I'll get a little excited here, get the heart going a little fast every once in a while during these songs. And here is a great morning song, just to get us going here this morning at the Red River Market. Thanks for coming on down so bright and early. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a beautiful morning at the break of day. You'll hear a big-bearded cowboy at the truck wagon sing. Gather on boys and coffee.
I think it's the homemade goods, you know, they taste good.
We're heating the iron. I want to smell that scorched hide.
The cookies and the donuts.
It's a beautiful morning.
Every time we'll be up here over the next couple of weeks, we're going to stop by. Just seeing the hustle and bustle of the town and all the people, it's kind of fun to see all that.
We like to think a lot about our demographics for the market, and we know we're having a good day when we have babies, bikes, and dogs. Those are three things that we always look for.
Very relaxed, live music, nice people, all the puppies and the dogs. Oh my God.
This is Box. Just Box. Though not a farmer, Box's personality and sense for business fits right in at the market.
I enjoy being an entrepreneur. I could only rely on myself, if you know what I'm saying. Made it myself, built it myself, run it myself. I don't have no help.
Really?
Yes, my friends. This is a small risk that I took, and my goal is to expand into other things, you know. So that's what I do. This is a misfit. Enjoy. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, man.
They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what happens when the apples are the ailment?
I'm David Gottenborg, and this is my apple orchard here. We have about 2,400 trees, and we're just south of the city of Audubon. I did it all on my own. I don't think I ever expected it to get like this. I never had any, I thought maybe I'd have 50 trees or 100 trees. And so in 2000 we planted 50 trees, and then the next year I planted 50. And now I tell people it's become almost a sickness because I can't stop planting trees. I just keep adding trees. I didn't really know anything about it, and I think I had to kind of convince them that I had more than just a few apples in my backyard. Maybe Thursday night, Friday morning, and I'll take a box of these with me to Fargo. Every week they ask us to estimate how many people come, and I would always say we have 200 to 250 plus sales.
Oh, okay, $1. Thank you. What did you think of that?
I think we'll take $5 worth of the snow ski.
Okay.
I think today brings a seasonal shift to the market. We live with the seasons, we work with farmers and growers, and so to know that this is the time of year that the snow comes is the true signification that's the end of the farmers market season.
It feels like it's getting colder. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure out this glove scenario here.
Those coffee people are gonna make a killing today, whoever shows up.
Yeah, it's a good day to be a coffee salesman.
We found a career in coffee. We're coffee roasters, so we've been roasting coffee since 2005 and primarily wholesaling. But that was another benefit that we saw with the farmers market, is that even though we're producers and we're creating these coffees and blends and everything, and we're primarily wholesaling to customers, we're able to literally pack up the van and bring an accessible kind of coffee production or whatever to customers, which was making coffee on order, brewed 1 cup at a time for people to enjoy. And we just are fortunate to be in the roasting side, where we select these really great coffees and partner with a good importer, roast the coffees, and have always kind of maintained the perspective that we really enjoy these coffees and we want other people to enjoy them too. Our coffee is a perfect, pairing for service or goods that they're going to be selling at the market. So.
Do you want any cream in there? No.
the exposure of it, you know, putting the Stambino's name out there, brewing coffee, a little different brewing style than what people are used to, but then also seeing it as a vendable product or a marketable product with coffee, and customers and just ramble on. But yeah, so we saw more people each week at the market, where you're getting 1,800 to 2,000 people coming through the market. Well, we wouldn't normally see that on any given 4-hour period down in the basement.
Any cream in there?
No.
Okay, $3. $3, please.
All right.
Thank you.
We got it down to kind of a short list of 10 to 12 items we need to bring, and then we look at the weather forecast and decide, do we need to bring more of one item than the other, be more hot or cold. Obviously, there were days in the market where it was 103 degrees, it seemed like. And so you knew you didn't sell much hot coffee, but all the iced coffee and cold alternative beverage would sell. So.
Okay, here we go. The lids are kind of silly on here. I gotta get it at the right spot.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
That seam, right?
Yeah, thanks for waiting. Yeah, have a great day.
Yep, thanks.
We've always offered hot and cold products to the market, and then we also offer a couple different tea selections or a lemonade. But yeah, definitely, if it was cloudy and it was cool, you could almost bank on selling more hot coffee. For us, it was partnering with the other vendors that are at the market, so you can create this unique draw for downtown that benefits everybody. First year, it's always had good foot traffic, but I think you saw the transition from 2nd Avenue to the corner of 4th and Broadway, increasing number of vendors and awareness of people throughout it. And we just saw over the course of the summer, even that first year of visibility and being out in the street, that people were coming into our shop more, having seen us out on that. So the customer contact for us was a real good outreach.
You want us to throw that cup, or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
So we love to stay with the market. Every weekend's been a good experience for us. As far as customer contact, sales have been steady. You know, our product's consistent with that, and it's additional outreach for people to serve coffee. And I think at this point, people probably expect to see us each week at the market, or expect to see our pup Yoshi or something too. So.
It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic.
You know, hope it continues to grow. And I think too, it's one of those things where you're just kind of on the cusp of it too, where you know, the numbers each week are more visitors, more vendors, you know, selling their products and stuff too. So, you know, there's always going to be little niche markets that will kind of open up within the farmers market community too, and we'll continue to kind of look at what we see with the coffee and what we want to offer there.
So we can put some of these wonderful portobellos.
So this is our final market of the 2017 season, market 51 over 3 years. We're always looking for new, unique, authentic local vendors that want to sell their goods and wares and spreading the word. We still feel like there's a lot of people that haven't heard of the Red River Market and want something like this within their community. We haven't found our forever home yet, but we anticipate that happening in the next couple years.
The Red River Valley Market has a way hip, cool vibe. It's diverse. There's a lot of cool dogs. There's a lot of really cool people. It's relaxed. And I think the Red River Market coordinators know what's up, and they follow trends, and they're actually ahead of trends, creating their own trends, and they've got a lot of good energy.
We've had so much great community support over the last 17 weekends, and really just demand for produce and great food and a place to gather with friends and families, grandma and grandpas, kids, dogs. So we feel really grateful to be that community hub.
This is our first year at the market, so I think it's kind of a challenge to know, how people are going to react to us, but I feel like people have really been so supportive, and we've met a lot of great people. Gotten a lot of exposure and support in the community, so it's been really nice.
All 3 years, and it's probably been the best year. More sales and a lot more vendors, a lot bigger crowds, which we really like to see. It's really great to see.
A big thank you. Myself and Simone and the other organizers get a lot of the credit, but this is an ecosystem. This is 75 small businesses getting together on a Saturday and choosing to vend, and I believe that act is as old as time. As old as farmers had extra produce, they were getting together to try to sell it, and so it's fun to be in a community business. Really is a place for people to gather, but there's so many players that make this happen, it couldn't possibly be done by one person. Feels good to have another year under our belt.
Can you explain the carrot costume?
This is kind of one of our many mascots of the farmers market. We've got a carrot, we have a watermelon, a pea pod. Just kind of fun and whimsical way to celebrate.